Hey Hacker News, Matt Heyman here, co-founder and CTO at Rownd, and today I want to show you how fast and easy it is to get Rownd Instant accounts integrated into your own site. Rownd Instant accounts uses a JavaScript snippet that just gets injected right into your site, and you can do this regardless of the technology you're using. So if you're using a static site generator like a Jamstack site or WordPress, maybe you're using something like Webflow or a similar hosting platform, you can drop our snippet right in. Or if you've got something a little more complex like React, Vue, and so on, we have SDKs that are available for you to install there. So today, let's start out by just grabbing the vanilla JavaScript snippet. If you come to our landing page for Hacker News, round.io/hacker-news, you'll see something like this. In order to activate the snippet, you'll need to at least enter your email address. You can provide your first name as well to see how we kind of customize the page for you. So I'm going to put mine in and hit submit. That'll fire that off to our servers and sign you in. Because it's my first time here, I'm automatically signed in. On repeat visits, I'll have to enter my email address again if I'm not already signed in, and then verify it through a special link in my email. So now that I'm signed in, I've got access to my Rownd code snippet, and you can see that this Rownd app ID key was generated for me, which has automatically been injected into this snippet. So I'm just going to grab the snippet, and now we're ready to drop it into our site to instantly add authentication and user accounts. So I've already got a Hugo Jamstack site cloned to my computer. And you can do this with Gatsby, Hugo, Next.js, so on and so forth. It really doesn't matter. But I've got an HTML template here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over to the place where this particular theme automatically injects JavaScript that I might need to power my page. So I'm just going to add a new script here. So we'll add our JavaScript here in between these two tags, paste that in. As you can see, that app key is right over here on the right-hand side, and I'll save this. And if I go over here to this tab that I've got pulled up over here with my awesome landing page, you can now see that the Rownd hub is automatically showing up here in the bottom left-hand corner. So I could go ahead and actually start the authentication now, but my users might not understand or know that they should go down here to authenticate. So I'd really rather have this register now button take care of doing the authentication and getting the user all set up. So back over here to my editor, I'll switch over to my nav bar, and I've got this link here. It currently says register now. I think I'm going to change that to something else. Let's say sign up or sign in. Because with Rownd, it really doesn't matter whether you're signing up or signing in. The process and flow is the same. And now that I've got my Rownd snippet embedded into the site, I have the ability to use certain attributes. So for example, I can tell the hub that this is a Rownd sign-in trigger. And now if I save this, and I go over here and hit that button, refresh the page, it automatically triggers this pop-up that asks the user to enter their email address or phone number to start the verification process. Next, I might want to ensure that the button doesn't continue saying sign up or sign in. I might want to take the user to the dashboard, or, if they click that button, after they've already signed in. So I can add additional attributes here. So I can say data around authenticated text, and I can set that to whatever I want this to be. So let's say open dashboard. Save that. And now let's go ahead and sign in. So hit the button. I'll enter an email address here. Go ahead and continue. That fired off an email message to my address. So I'll have to go over there and access that. So let's go ahead and pull that up. So here I've got my email, and you can see it's got the Rownd branding on it, but you can actually customize this to use your own logo and colors. So it can be fully branded and even come from an email address of your choosing. And I'll just hit verify and sign in. That'll open a new tab. and I'll be redirected back to the application that I came from. Or if I flip back over here to this tab, I'm now authenticated. And you can see that this button has changed from sign in or sign up to open dashboard. Now at this point, the user is signed in and ready to go. I have access to their access token, any data that they've added to their profile, and so on and so forth. I can integrate with that with forms and other things. Now something I might want to do with this button is actually have it go to the correct page. So if we flip back over here, I can add another attribute to the button that says where it should redirect after being authenticated. So I could just add a relative URL, something like maybe a protected page that I have. Save that. And now when I click this button, it takes me to a protected page. Next, let's take a look at a little bit more advanced example. So over here, I've got a Next.js based Jamstack template, and I want to add some dynamic features, allow my users to log in, customize the site, maybe even interact with the backend API. And so whether you're using Next.js or you're using something like Create React App or even Preact, you can use our Rownd SDK for React. And you can see there's documentation here describing how to use it. So over here back in my IDE, I've already installed the SDK, and this is a pretty standard Next.js app layout. And what I've done is I come over here to my app file, and I've added the Rownd provider here from our React SDK, and then I've wrapped my default component in the Rownd provider. And you can see here's the app key that I retrieved previously for our last example, and I've just dropped that right in here. And once I've done this, now my app is aware of the Rownd context and knows exactly who the user is if they're authenticated and that sort of thing. Next, I want to add some dynamic content to the header. So if we look at our template, I want to take this Get Started button, and I want to make this the button that takes me either to my dashboard or authenticates me if I'm my user if I'm not logged in yet. So I'll go back over here and we'll look at our navigation component, and I've already kind of configured things here for us, but again, you can see I'm importing the React SDK. This time I'm grabbing the use Rownd hook, so we're using React hooks here. And if I scroll down here to where the navigation bar is kind of defined, you can see I've now got a button here, and what's going to happen is when the button is clicked, it will request a sign-in. If I am not authenticated, then it will display the text Get Started. If I am authenticated, it will display the text Dashboard and take me to the dashboard. Before we test it out, let's make one minor modification here. So let's change this function so that instead of requesting sign-in, it will check to see if we're authenticated. And if we're not, it will request the sign-in. If we are, then let's have it move the user to a different location. Let's have it go to dashboard. Okay, I think we're all set. So let's save that. And now we actually need a page for them to go to. So I've already created this dashboard page here. Again, pretty simple. Pulling in my standard page layouts, header, footer, things like that. I'm pulling in my Rownd SDK, and here you can see that I'm grabbing both the is authenticated Boolean as well as my user data object, and I'm using that in two places here. So I'm checking to see if we're authenticated, and if we're not, I'm returning one response that says, hey, you need to sign in order to get to this page. And if I am authenticated, then I display a little bit different output here. And one thing I want to do is I want to personalize this page a bit. So here I'm going to say if they are authenticated, I'll say welcome to your dashboard, and then if they've given me their first name, then we'll print out their first name. So I'll come back here in a second and just look at the rest of the code here, but let's test it out, see if it works. So let's get started. Enter my email address. Authenticating. All right, let's grab the message from my email. There it is, came in right away. And hit verify and sign in. we'll get redirected right back to our application. Again, no configuration here, it just automatically knows where you came from. And we're here, and you can see that the text of this button up here changed from get started to dashboard. Now if I click on this, it should take me to my dashboard. Now right now it just says welcome to your dashboard, but I would love for it to say welcome to your dashboard, Matt, if I know the person's name. And maybe you've already got that in your CRM system, and in another video we can talk more about how Rownd can integrate with some of your existing backends if you've got one. But here I've just got a simple input field where it says enter my first name, and what I want to have happen there is once I do that, I want it to populate here. So let's just go take a look at the code that's driving that. So here's an input and a label, and basically when the cursor leaves the input on blur, what we're going to do is we're going to access this Rownd object directly on the window. So we're going to communicate directly with the Rownd hub. Its JavaScript API is available globally, and I want to say that I want to update the user and set first name equal to the value of this particular element. So I can change one field at a time, multiple fields, and Rownd will take care of automatically persisting that data to its data trust backend, and then the next time the user comes back, the data will just be there. So let's go try that out too. Let me enter my first name, and there it is. So it's persisted immediately, it's writing that data to the backend, and everything's good to go. So you can see kind of how the power of all these tools starts to come together as you build out your instant accounts using Rownd. We're just scratching the surface here. There's a lot more capability under the covers, and we'd love to talk to you about that. Just visit our website, look at our documentation, or schedule some time with us. We'd love to chat with you one-on-one. In future videos, we'll explore some of our other capabilities and some of our other SDKs, such as Node.js for Express or Fastify and other frameworks, Python with Django, and others that are coming out in the next days and weeks. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll give us some feedback and just let us know what you think. And until next time, have a good one.